Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin Jakowski. I am one of the trainers here at the Connecticut MLS, and today I will be conducting a 30-minute tutorial on the data co-op. So let's start by addressing the first question that comes to mind. What is the data co-op? The data co-op is an incredibly powerful tool that gives you and your clients access to listings from partnering MLS systems throughout the country. Through these partnerships, our members gain reciprocal access to listings in 8 participating MLS systems and in turn expose your listings to their members. Now that being said, I'm sure your next question is how can I access the data co-op through the MLS? Access to the data co-op can be found on both the ML Exchange and Fusion systems under the resources section of your homepage by clicking on the Smart Links folder. So let's go and look for that. So you can see by clicking on the Smart Links folder and scrolling down, we can go ahead and select the data co-op link to bring us into that database. One thing to note is that you will be able to access the data co-op through your user dashboard when we release that widget on August 12th of 2014. Now you can also access the data co-op on your mobile device, so your smartphone or tablet, your MacBook or your iMac, even your iPad. So now that we know what the data co-op is and where we can access it, let's discuss why you should use this powerful tool. So the first and most important reason is that our data co-op currently consists of over 160,000 listings throughout the country, and it's continuing to grow as we speak. Now that's some great exposure. Secondly, our data co-op is cross-browser compatible. You can now access all MLS data using Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, or any web browser that you currently use to search the internet. It's also cross-platform compatible. You can use the data co-op to access MLS data on your iPad, iPhone, tablet, smartphone, Mac desktop, or PC. Another key reason, or another key feature to access the data co-op is that it's got a very robust map searching feature, which allows you to directly interact with a property right from the map view without having to access a list of properties. Our reciprocal access allows you to have MLS data from over 8 geographic areas under one roof. And lastly, our data co-op offers a stunning report dashboard. These new reports are laid out in a unique gadget structure that allows you to see all reports available for a particular property without ever leaving the listing view. This gives you easy access to all reports with one click of your mouse. So now that I mentioned that we currently share access with 8 individual MLS systems throughout the country, why don't I tell you what those MLSs are, as I'm sure that you're curious. So if we go ahead and click on our Options tab located on the left-hand side, we'll get an overview of the MLS systems that we're currently sharing data with. So our legend on the left-hand side of the screen currently displays the MLS listing services and the number of active listings that you're able to view. So we currently share with Western New York, which is Buffalo, Citrus County, Florida, Greater Las Vegas, Ocean County and Middlesex Counties, New Jersey, Northern New England, which consists of all of New Hampshire, Vermont, and it accepts listings in parts of northern Maine, southern Maine, and northern Massachusetts. We also have Rhode Island statewide, and we currently share data with Miami as well. So that's going to wrap up some of the background information in regards to the data co-op. Let's go ahead and access the system live and go ahead and perform a search. So how do you search the data co-op? The data co-op search setup is very similar to that of Fusion and ML Exchange, but keep in mind this program is very map centric. That being said, the first thing you may want to do is zoom your map out to cover the area that you are searching. Now this is just a suggestion. You will notice that your search form and corresponding tabs are located on the left-hand side of your page. From here you'll notice there are 3 ways to perform a search in the data co-op database. The first way to search is by entering an address, business name, or ML number in the search bar located on your top left. Once you have entered the desired location, simply click on the arrow pointing towards the map on the right. This will bring you directly to the property you're searching and will auto-populate on the map. Let's go ahead and do that. Now you can see that we've located the specific property that we're searching for. And from here, we can go ahead and hover over the push pin, click on the link, the address link, and that will bring us into our detailed reports. But before we go into the reports, I'd like to show you the other two ways that you can perform a search through the system. So let's go ahead and clear our search. And again, I mentioned that the program is very map-centric, so I always like to zoom back out to make sure that I'm covering the correct area that I'm looking for. So the second method of searching is by utilizing the search criteria section of the search tab located on your left. Again, you will want to clear your previous search each time that you're entering new criteria. This way it'll reset your past results. So utilizing the search criteria portion of the data co-op will allow you to search properties much like ML Exchange or Fusion. Simply enter the criteria for your property type that you're searching for in the drop-down fields provided and select Update Results from the top of the search form. For more advanced search criteria, simply click on the Advanced Search arrow to display advanced search filters. If you would like to search under contract, sold and rented, or off-market properties, simply expand the listing statuses portion of your search section. Now keep in mind, through this search form, you also have the ability to search foreclosure statuses as well by going and selecting the CoreLogic foreclosure data overlays. This will allow you to search pre-default, auction, REO, or bank-owned properties. So once you have entered your criteria and selected Update Results, you will notice the map will auto-populate to the area or properties that you have selected. Now we're ready to view our results. So let's go ahead and run our search. Now once your results have populated, you have the option of utilizing the map view, which is the default, or you can switch to the list view by selecting the second tab under the quick search line. Let's go ahead and click on the list view. Now you'll notice in the list view we have a clear description of the properties that were populated through our search. But on our map we have our little push pins that are letting us know that we need to drill in a little bit deeper into the map to view those in a more functional way. Now in order to drill into the map, you can simply double click, or you can hover over the push pin and select Click to Drill In. The further we drill in, you'll start to see that our push pins will start to repopulate and spread out over the course of the page. So as you can see, our properties have started to spread apart. And by hovering over the push pins, we were able to actually access the listing by going ahead and selecting the address link that's provided through the pop-up. This will bring us into our report section of the data co-op. But I'm going to come back to this, and I'd like to get back into our search really quick. So I want to click on back to map, and I want to discuss the list view located over to the left. Now you could easily access the same reports by selecting the address link through the list view, but there's some additional functionality that I'd like to discuss at this time. So from here you'll notice that you're able to print the list, you can send the list via email, or you can compare properties. Now print and email are self-explanatory, so let's discuss the compare button. The compare button allows you to create a side-by-side comparison of selected properties and create a report based on the information provided. To do this, we're simply going to select the properties that we would like to compare by clicking on the checkbox to the left of the property address in the list view. And then we're going to go ahead and select the compare button. So let me go ahead and do that. So here's our side-by-side comparison. And you'll notice that my list includes 5 properties that were previously saved for the subject property that I've selected. I want to go ahead and remove this subject property and select a new subject. So I'm going to click on the Remove Subject Property link. And then I'm going to click Use Subject Property. And in order to manipulate our side-by-side comparisons with the subject property that we want to use, we can simply click and drag the property over to our subject. We can then click Refresh Comparables from the list. If we want to save our comparables, we can simply select Save Comparables. And if we wanted to view the consolidated report, we could go ahead and do that as well. But just a quick overview, let me scroll down and show you the information that's provided through the side-by-side. So everything from the price to the broker to the year built, the address, and the ML number. Just some really detailed information that you could access through the data co-op. Let's go ahead and click on Consolidated Report. So by doing this, we are given the options of selecting which reports we want to select in this presentation. Now we can simply send an email for this report. We're going to go ahead and label who it's prepared for and put the email address, the corresponding email address in, or we can go ahead and preview the report. By previewing the report, you actually have the option to save it as a PDF file. So let's go ahead and do that. Keep in mind, it may take a couple seconds for the report to pull up based on the amount of information that is inside of the data co-op. But now that we have our report, we can go ahead and I can just scroll through quickly and show you some of the functionality of what the report would look like. You have your property location, you have your listing details, public remarks, map of the property, price and days listed, active properties within the area, nearby comparable sales, and here's your side-by-side view. There's a community demographics report, foreclosure details if there were any, a nearby distressed report, a subject property summary report, which is again just a lot of detail for the properties. We have a neighborhood demographics report, and this is done by the U.S. Consensus, and it's updated monthly. List of the schools, attractions, automotive services, banks, eating and drinking facilities. Just a lot of information, and it's a great report to send to any clients who will be new to the area. So this is just something to keep in mind. And to simply save it as a PDF, we could move our cursor down to the right and click on the little diskette, and it's going to ask us to save as a PDF document. So that's what the reporting feature looks like. I'm going to go ahead and X out of this and dive back into the data co-op, and we'll actually go ahead and select a listing, and I'll show you some of the individual reports that you can utilize as well. So let's go ahead and click on the address link for 46 Pegasset Road. And here we go. So these are some of the property reports that you're able to send via email. You can actually add this property to favorites, and it'll store in your favorites list right here. I currently don't have it. Well, I have 59 favorites. So actually, let's select one of these since we're here, and we'll go into the property reports. So you can see again, you have your property photos, your listing details. You have an overview map of the property location. We have our tax record details, foreclosure details, nearby distressed properties. We have a nearby distressed map, some additional property reports that are available to you through the data co-op. You have a list of your nearby schools, the listing agent information, a nearby school map, nearby comparable sales, You have your property listing history. You have that day's listed analysis again, your nearby listing trends and market trends. And there's also a community demographic report. I'm not sure that this is going to pull up, but let's try to click on it and see what happens. We did not get that. Let's click on this listing. we're just going to try another listing. They really like to pull up the community demographics report just to give you an idea of what's available. If I go ahead and click this, this is just a great sheet that you may want to enter into a listing presentation or a client CMA. So here we go. So the community demographics report, it is done by zip code. It is updated on a monthly basis, but just a really nice report to add. Shows the age distribution of the area, marital status, annual income, average monthly mortgage rate, rent payments, number of homes built, home value, commute time, etc. And again, it's all done by the U.S. Consensus. So there's some really great reporting features. Again, you could select print, and we could save this as a PDF if we like. Just a great option, again, to throw into a CMA or a listing presentation. So just some things to be aware of. And that's pretty much the data co-op in a nutshell. With the mapping features, you still are able to use your points of interest. So if you wanted to look for, gas stations or hospitals within your local area, we could pull up those points of interest. If you wanted to view school districts or flood zones, keep in mind this is something that we can do here through the mapping feature. So just some great functionality. And we could also switch our view. So we could have a road view, or we could have our automatic view, which switches to the best map style as you zoom in. So when we click on automatic, it's going to keep us here in this road view, but as we scroll in, you'll see that it's going to change to our bird's eye view. Well, again, that is going to conclude our training tutorial for the data co-op. If you do have any questions or require additional training, do not hesitate to contact the Connecticut MLS. I'd like to thank you all for your time and wish you happy searching. Again, this is Kevin Jakowski with Connecticut MLS signing off. I hope you all have a wonderful day.